The Coca-Cola 600 on Fox is sponsored by UPS, official delivery company of Nascar.
UPS delivers the chance to manage your own free fantasy auto racing league. Go to foxsports.com. Kyle Busch has taken his car to the garage. Broken brake rotor as a result of that crash. He is under repair and hopes to return.
Mike, we were talking about fathers a few minutes ago, and I want to say hi to the Bonnets down in Alabama, Neil and Susan Bonnet. Neil's dad passed away this past week, and so I want Susan and them to know what we were thinking about them and praying for them and wish them the best.
Jeremy Mayfield lined up behind the pace truck. He is the race leader after taking no tires on that pit stop.
And I see that other Toyota, Brian Vickers, up there, the 83 car, not that many laps ago, on pit road with the hood up, repairing the power steering. Now he's back up in the top 5 right behind Matt Kenseth.
Toyota, Ford, Toyota, Chevy as we get set for this restart. It will come with 143 laps to go, just about 230 miles left to race. Green flag.
Boy, there goes that run again, Matt Kenseth. We've seen that restart after restart like shot out of a cannon off turn 2. He's going to pull way in front of Jeremy Mayfield. Here comes Vickers to the inside of Mayfield going into 3.
I think he may have gotten Jeremy just a tad loose off of 2 there with that pass. The way he went by him, it about sucked him around, I think.
And here comes Tony Stewart to the inside on Vickers.
You know, Vickers' car, it's not been that great right after a restart. It takes it a few laps, it looks like, to come in.
Well, he says it's a little snug, and that's kind of the characteristics of a car that's a little on the snug side. It's good on a long run, might not be that good on a restart. Man, look at this.
Casey
Kane.
Oh,
look at this.
I know we're watching Stewart and Vickers, but Casey Kane in that 9 car trying to get one of his 3 laps back. He was up there in no man's land through 3 and 4.
You see a lot of this 3 wide, a lap or 2 after a restart, as the lead lap cars try to negotiate past the lapped cars any way they can. Let's get an update on Kyle Busch from Dick Berggren in the garage.
Well, Kyle sits behind the wheel of his car while his mechanics pour over what is left of it. And how he ever drove this thing at all, Mike, is a major miracle. The right front caliper certainly is a minor problem in comparison to the fact that the caliper itself was on fire, apparently. Signs of flame there. Truck arm is all messed up. Rotor is all messed up. Sheet metal is all messed up. He really must have had his hands full trying to keep this thing on the racetrack.
He did, Doc. I was surprised that he could run as fast as he could with the thing torn up the way it was.
Jimmie Johnson moving on Mayfield, and here comes Dale Jr.
You know, looking at Dale Earnhardt Jr. here, battling to get back in the top 5. Remember, it was less than 100 laps ago. He was on pit road with a flat left rear under green, got the free pass back on the lead lap. Looks like this 8 car's coming to life now as we get into the night.
I think you'll see a lot of changes now that we're into the cool of the evening, under the lights. Guys that have been having some issues, they'll go away and they'll get good.
It's been an all Chevrolet season thus far. Ford's won 1 race, otherwise it's been all Chevy. But look at the laps led by manufacturer tonight, with Dodge and Toyota leading the way.
And the problem now, though, with the problems that Dodge has, that they have had over the last 100 laps, so we only have 2 Dodges left on the lead lap, Kurt Busch and Reed Sorensen, and they are the last 2 cars on the lead lap back in 13th and 14th.
That car right there that just came into our picture, Casey Kane. Now he has really stepped it up, but he's 3 laps down. I think he can get up there maybe and catch Matt Kenseth, because he was really closing there for a few laps.
And it would certainly help him if he could get one of those laps back naturally, not depending on a free pass that many laps down.
Go back down to our Ford cutaway car and Jeff Hammond.
Mike, as we close in on lap 300, this is where some of these driver comfort things kind of come into play. At the end of the final practice yesterday, Denny Hamlin was complaining about his feet getting hot. That's right, the feet on the bottom of his foot right there was getting extremely hot, having them on the pedals. And the reason for that was because under the hood of the car nowadays, with the unleaded fuel, the temperature has gone up about 150 degrees. So the team had to go to work, put some extra insulation between the firewall itself and the engine itself. For that reason, they also had to add a little bit of extra cooling inside the car. As we look inside here, this is where the shoe would go normally. Sit on these brake pedals or the clutch pedal or the gas pedal over here. They added also some extra heat material to kind of like make this cockpit area a little bit cooler, along with some extra hoses. Driver comfort is so important, even in the area where your feet go. Imagine riding around basically with your feet stuck inside an oven at over 400 degrees. Not very comfortable, especially if you want to win a race. Mike?
And those are the kinds of distractions. When you even got a great race car, those kind of distractions will keep you from winning a race. They just take your focus away from everything, and all you can think about is this hurts, that hurts, this is wrong, that's wrong.
Matt Kenseth leading, but Tony Stewart trying to take away second place from Jimmie Johnson, and he's done it.
Yeah, I mean, I think like we've seen Jimmie Johnson so many times tonight, he saw how much quicker Tony Stewart was than him. He knows we've got over 100 laps to go. You know what? Don't push the envelope now. Tony's just driven away from that 48 car.
I wouldn't worry too much about Jimmie Johnson just yet.
So Kenseth, Stewart, Johnson, then Dale Earnhardt Jr., Denny Hamlin, and J.J. Yaley, Stewart and Hamlin's teammate. He is running half a second behind Brian Vickers, half a second ahead of Jeremy Mayfield. J.J.'s in 8th place.
Now, the car I'm getting a little concerned about, though, right in front of J.J. Yaley, Brian Vickers in that 83 car. He has lost several positions. Krista, this 83 car okay?
Well, that power steering issue was intermittently going in and out. Well, it's out.
Turn
Doug
2.
Said,
Excuse me, Krista. Casey Kane's in the wall.
Right in front of the 83 car. Caution will fly.
Well, I've been watching that 9 car, and he
got
was
the right side a little bit, Kenny. I don't think it'll be too bad. Maybe the right rear corner the most.
No, buddy, it's a lot worse than that. To the right front, whole right side. But I've been watching him, and he was driving the wheels off that thing, trying to get one of those laps back. And he just goes down here, and it just jumps out from under and getting in. Right here. She's loose, and around she goes, but not around, but it hits the fence.
Boy, and he pancakes it right there.
Yeah, he hit it hard.
I'm sorry, Krista. Let's back to you.
Guys, going back to Brian Vickers, remember we talked about his power steering issue. It is gone entirely. Doug Richards said, hey, buddy, do you want us to cut the belt to make it a little more consistent? Brian said, oh, it's plenty consistent, consistently gone. It is not a pump issue. They have a leaking or broken seal. That is the problem with Brian Vickers. So he is on his own, working the wheel all by himself. He just requested a power gel pack, like a power bar in pack form. He's got his work cut out for him tonight.
And now what he has to do is slow down, because you don't have the assist. It's like if you turn your engine off on your street car and try to turn the steering wheel, that's what he's faced with. So now he's got to let the banking of the turn and the radius of the turn cut the car for him. So all he can do is slow down and tug on the wheel hard as he can.
This is the 10th caution of the night. It's out for Casey Kane. You're watching Matt Kenseth, the race leader. He's coming to pit road in front of Dick Berggren.
And the adjustments are getting smaller and smaller as the night goes on, because they are dialing Kenseth in better and better on every pit stop. That is no surprise. Kenseth and his crew chief, Robbie Reiser, are so good at this. Fuel only.
Fuel only for Tony Stewart. Fuel only for Dale Earnhardt Jr. as well. Matt.
Fuel only for the 11 of Denny Hamlin. They're going to make a chassis adjustment. His car just extremely too loose, trying to tighten him up so he can run the high line. Krista?
And fuel only also for Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah, and he must have got the least amount of fuel only, because he beat everybody out pretty good.
Looks like Mark Martin decided to go with 2 right side tires. Looks like Kurt Busch in the 2 is going to get 4.
10th caution flag of the night, coming with 132 laps to go.